It's been 5 years since that night. 5 years since I watched my children drive away and never saw them again. I still remember every detail. The sound of the gravel under their tires, the glow of the taillights fading into the dark road, the silence that followed. But what I remember most is that they didn't look back. Not once. My name's Ellen. I'm 51 years old now. Back then, I lived with my husband and our 2 kids, Michael, who was 17, and Emma, 14. We just moved into a small farmhouse outside town. It wasn't much, but it was peaceful, and we wanted a quiet place after my husband lost his job. At least, that's what I thought it was going to be. The house was old. I mean really old. Creaking floors, walls that seemed to breathe in the night. The kind of place where the silence feels heavier than noise. The first week went fine, but then things started happening that didn't make sense. The first thing was small, just noises. Footsteps in the hallway at night when everyone was asleep. Whispers, coming from the walls, almost like a conversation happening behind the plaster. My husband said it was just old pipes, but I knew the difference between pipes and a whisper that says your name. I brushed it off, told myself I was just stressed. Then one night, I was doing laundry in the basement. There's a single light bulb that hangs from the ceiling down there, and it flickers like it's alive. Halfway through folding clothes, I heard something, soft crying. I froze. It sounded like a little girl, faint but close. "Emma?" I called. No answer. The crying stopped. When I went upstairs, both kids were asleep. I tried to tell myself it was the wind again. But the next morning, when I opened the laundry room door, every single piece of folded clothing had been thrown across the room. It kept getting worse after that. Emma started sleepwalking. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and find her standing in the hallway, facing the wall, whispering to herself. When I asked what she was saying, she'd just stare at me blankly and say, "She says you should listen." "She who?" I asked, but she never answered. Then Michael started acting strange too. He stopped eating dinner with us. He'd spend hours locked in his room, talking softly like someone was in there with him. When I asked who he was speaking to, he said, "The woman downstairs." We didn't have a woman downstairs. I thought it was just teenage mood swings. Until one night, I walked into his room and saw him sitting on the floor, his back to me. He was staring at something in the corner. The air felt wrong, cold, like walking into a freezer. I asked him what he was doing. He said, "She says we're almost ready." I turned on the light, and there was nothing in the corner. But he looked at me like I was the one who couldn't see her. That night, I told my husband we needed to leave. He laughed, said I was losing it. 2 nights later, he was gone. Not dead, just gone. He packed a bag and left without a word while I was sleeping. All he left behind was a note that said, "I can't stand the voices anymore." After that, it was just me and the kids, except they weren't really my kids anymore. Emma would hum this strange tune over and over. A low, unsettling melody that made the air feel heavy. Michael stopped calling me Mom. He started calling me her, like I was just another woman in the house. I didn't sleep much. Every time I closed my eyes, I'd hear footsteps coming up the stairs. They'd stop right outside my door, and then I'd hear someone whisper, "Don't look back." Then came the night everything changed. It was storming outside. Heavy rain, thunder shaking the walls. I was sitting in the living room when I heard the front door open. Michael and Emma were standing there, soaked, holding car keys. I asked what they were doing. Michael just said, "We're leaving now." "Where?" I asked. He didn't answer. He just looked past me, toward the dark hallway behind me, and whispered, "She says we have to go before she does." Before who does? I turned around. Nothing there. But the light started flickering, and for just a second, I saw her, a pale woman, standing at the end of the hallway. Her eyes were hollow. Her mouth was open, but no sound came out, just the crackle of the storm outside. And then she was gone. I screamed at the kids not to move. But they walked past me, slow, calm, like they were sleepwalking again. I grabbed Emma's arm, but her skin was ice cold. She looked at me and said, in a voice that wasn't hers, Don't look back, Mom. It's too late for that. They got in the car. I ran to the porch, screaming for them to stop. The headlights cut through the rain, and I watched them drive away, down that long, empty road. Their faces didn't turn once, not even a glance in the mirror, and that's when I saw her again, standing in the back seat. The car disappeared into the darkness, and I haven't seen them since. The police searched for weeks. They found the car, eventually. It was parked half a mile away. Empty, both doors open, keys still in the ignition. The seats were soaking wet, like they'd been sitting in the rain for hours. But it hadn't rained that day. Inside the glove compartment, there was a piece of paper. In Emma's handwriting, it said, "She's home now." After that, I left the farmhouse. Couldn't stay there another night, but sometimes late at night I still hear that humming. That same tune Emma used to sing. It plays softly from the walls, just before I fall asleep. And sometimes, when I drive down that same old road, I see two figures standing in the distance. They look like my kids, but I never stop, because I know, if I do, she'll make sure I never leave again. Which story scared you the most? Comment below and subscribe for more true horror stories.